Whenever the word feeding scheme is mentioned, what quickly comes to mind is food, food supply, feeding programs, and so on, right? Our topic on this episode of the 360 show is Abuja feeding scheme to enhance bulk power delivery. Now, this feeding scheme is not another food intervention program by the government or NGOs to ensure the less privileged who cannot adequately get food are fed. Now, in this case, feeding is also the action word, but what is fed is different here, and what is fed is electricity. The Abuja feeding scheme is a program designed to enhance adequate bulk electricity delivery in Abuja. Currently, there are national programs to boost electricity distribution in the southern and northern parts of Nigeria, but our focus on this episode is on the ongoing project within the Federal Capital Territory to ensure bulk electricity is adequately distributed. My name is Stephanie Odia. Please stay tuned. The Bridge 360 show is a program which aims at providing useful information that will bridge the communication gap between the public and the government in providing critical infrastructure and economic development through its ministries, departments, and agencies. Now, this program is not designed to patronize the government, rather appraise their efforts in critical infrastructural deliverables and seek ways to ensure dividends of democracy are delivered to the people. Our focus on this series of the Bridge 360 show is on power because of its critical role in the nation's development. The Transmission Company of Nigeria, in making concerted efforts to complete the Abuja feeding scheme, which is a power transmission project for the Abuja transmission corridor that will improve electricity supply to FCT and its immediate environs. Now, the project aims to reinforce transmission capacity for reliable electricity supply around Abuja. The contract for the project includes design, manufacture, supply, installation, and commissioning of transmission lines and associated substations. The project has a threefold objective. Now, A, to increase capacity of the power transmission network. The project encompasses the construction of a new 143 kilometers, 330 kV transmission lines to establish a third in feed into the Abuja transmission ring through Lafia, and 3 new 132 kV transmission lines for the Abuja metropolitan area. To improve power availability, 5 new substations will be built to step down incoming high voltage power and supply the local distribution network. C, to ensure stability and reliability of power supply. Now, this includes the provision of telecommunications, equipment, and SCADA integration. Abuja feeding scheme currently has only 2 330 kV substations and 3 132 kV substations. Now, under the Program Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, is constructing 5 new transmission substations in the capital city to stabilize electricity supply in the area. Upon completion, the Abuja feeding scheme will add approximately 1,146 megawatts of transmission capacity to the grid. This will also increase the network capacity, improve network flexibility, and service delivery to Abuja discos. Meanwhile, the substations will be completed by the construction of a new electricity transmission route from Lafia in Nasarawa State to Abuja. Now, this new 330 kV double-circuit transmission line will establish a third in-feed into the Abuja transmission ring, facilitating power supply from the power generating plants in the southern part of the country. These new substations under construction are 330 kV substations in New Apo and Lugbe, substations in Lokogoma, Gwarimpa, and of course Kuje. Now, the management of TCN is committed to the early completion of this project. At the moment, most of the civil works across all components of the project have been completed and equipment installation is underway. The project is expected to reach 100% completion in the third quarter of the year 2022. The project manager, French Development Agency funded project engineer Okemini, who is of the TCN, is our guest on this episode of the Bridge 360 show. Now, she gave very useful insight on what TCN has committed to ensure adequate power distribution with the Abuja feeding scheme.
The project we are supervising is Abuja Feeding Scheme that is funded by AFG, the French Development Agency. Is basically a transmission project that is made up of 6 lots. Lot 1 is the 330 kV line from Lafia to Abuja, and it is just Makurdi 330 kV line that we are going to do a turn-in, turn-out through via Lafia to Abuja. And the line is a 143 kilometer route length with that is going to add 1,146 megawatts to our grid network. We have lot 2 is a 132 kV line that will give us flexibility in Abuja. The line is basically going to be within Abuja metropolis. It's going to span from the 330, the associated substation in Apo, from the Pigba, we call the district Pigba. It's going to radiate a 132 kV line from Pigba to Old Apo, from Pigba to Kuje, and from Pigba to Womba, Lokogoma. We are radiating a 3-number 132 kV line there, and the total route length will be 81 kilometer route length, and this will add 318 megawatts into our system. 33 kV outgoing feeders. The outgoing feeders are where the disco will now take the energy from. We now have another 330, 132, 33 kV transmission substation in Lugbe. It is also the same capacity with what we have in Pigba. It's going to be a 2 by 150 MVA transformer on a 330 kV voltage level with another 9-number 33 kV outgoing feeders. Then we have another, that is the lot 5, 132 33 kV voltage level substation at Wumba, Lokogoma. We have a 2-number 60 MVA 132 kV transformer there, radiating a 6-number 33 kV feeders. And we have in Kuje, the Kuje will be a 3-number 60 MVA transformer with another 9 33 kV outgoing feeders installed at the end of the day. We now have the lot 6 that is in Gwarimpa. That one we have a 2-number 60 MVA transformer on 132 kV level and a 6-number outgoing 33 kV feeders. These infrastructures that we are going to provide at the end of the project is targeted at increasing the capacity of transmission network and ensuring that we have a stable, reliable supply in Abuja through injection of the telecommunication equipment and SCADA. But the overall effect this project will have in transmission infrastructure, presently we have two infeeds into Abuja. That is one from Shiroro Katankwe on 330 kV level, and Geregu Gwagwalada leg coming into Abuja. So this Abuja feeding scheme project, we are targeting the third infeed into Abuja. And at the end of this project, we will achieve flexibility of the network. The 132 kV voltage level transmission infrastructure will be on ring circuit. Ring circuit means that at any point in time, Abuja will be on supply as long as one of the infeeds into Abuja is available. My viewers might not understand the technicalities I've just spoken about. We in Nigeria will power on 330 kV voltage level and 132 kV voltage level. That is the wheeling voltage levels of Transmission Company of Nigeria. So when we are bringing in power on a 330 kV voltage level, there will be a transformer that will step it down to a 132 and then step it down again on 33. In effect, the 330 kV 132 33 kV substation entails a 330 132 kV transformer. That is, the energy comes in on 330 kV voltage level, and the transformer steps it down to 132 kV voltage level. Then it's now interconnected to another 132 kV 33 transformer in that same substation. That transformer will, the input, that is, will take it on the 132 and step it down to 33. Then the outgoing feeders now is the line, power line going straight to the distribution injection substations. So what it means is that the 33 kV outgoing feeders I mentioned are the lines that are available for Abuja Electricity Distribution Company to take energy from. And we targeted these areas like the Pigba, Lugbe, Wumba, Kuje, Gwarimpa, Lokogoma. We picked all these areas because this project took into cognizance the growing rate of population in Abuja. And these areas we have located it stands at the center of a cluster. We targeted the growing clusters in Abuja. We have already discussed, communicated to Abuja Electricity, and I believe they are working hard towards ensuring that the energy that we are bringing in there will not be stranded, that the energy will be properly distributed within their customer range of clusters. If you look at the new Apo, you see it's a developing area, and you have a lot of estates coming up. Wumba will now serve the Lokogoma axis on that end. That Kuje area that will serve even part of Kwali in Abuja. If you go to Gwarimpa, you know there is a lot of upcomings in that area. You find out that going by your right, there is a lot of clusters that need to be fed. With this, at the end of the day, the whole of Abuja and its environment will have a very quality, reliable electricity supply. Abuja Electricity Company is up to the task because they've started over 2 years ago planning about that. For the project, we have gotten up to 62 overall projects. For the 6, cumulatively, we had 62% completion. And the civil structures that is supposed to be associated with the jobs We are over 80% completion. My word is that before the third quarter of next year, 2022, all the 6 projects mentioned will be commissioned. You know, there is no project in life that you don't have challenges, some drawbacks. If not for the challenges we have surmounted, if they were not there, by now we'll be discussing commissioning of some of the projects. Part of the drawbacks we have, the challenges we have is the IDEC, that is import duty exemption certificate, which government normally gives to government entities on infrastructure. Last year, there was a change in the process of the IDEC. We have already gotten the normal IDEC, but the government now announced that going forward, it is e-IDEC. By that time, our EPCs, that's the contractors, the contractors have already started importing the equipment to be used for the construction. The designs are going on. We got to a point that they can't clear the goods because we have not migrated to the e-IDEC, the online IDEC. So, naturally, for any software, there will be some teething problems. So that teething problems dragged the e-IDEC full activation, full implementation. From the IDEC issue that is now cleared, we now enter into another major problem because the equipment have been at the port since that, for that duration of time, and there is demurrage to be paid. We are not exempted from paying demurrage. So there is demurrage to be paid and port charges. Because the present management of TCN, they have put in a sincere, concerted effort to ensure that there is no hitches, that this project is achieved. The company, TCN, has paid some of the demurrages, and the equipment are on their way coming in. So once those equipment are at site, you can be sure that with a couple of months, especially the substations, they will be up.
Coming up is a facility tour with the consultants to the TCN on the project.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. You are welcome, sir. Thank you. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. You are welcome, sir. Good morning. You are welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Here we are standing at 132 kV GIS substation, Goarimpa. GIS means grid gas insulated substation. So this substation will be equipped with 2 power transformers having 60 MVA capacity each. So we are moving according our planned work schedule, and at the moment we have completed all the engineering of the project. All the preliminaries have been completed, and construction as well as the procurement, we are moving according to our planned schedule, and overall project progress at the moment is 62.5%. So most of our equipment and material is lying at Lagos port, and that is going to the transportation is going to be started just in a few days, and the power transformer, 2 number power transformers will be reaching at this site on 7th of October, and both transformers will be put on their plinths on 9th of October.
This is a 2 by 60 MVA 132 by 33 kV GIS substation. We have 6 number 33 kV outgoing feeders, which is going to serve the communities environs around here and even beyond. One of the main importance of a consultant in a project is the impact of knowledge on the engineers here, and I can say that this has been happening. We've been impacted here, and working with them is actually smooth and is going very well. This is one of a type of a GIS. We don't have much of GIS substation on the system, and it's just a new technology coming up, and we'll be happy to see how it goes. What we used to have is AIS, air insulated switch gears. So due to space constraint, we adopted a new technology whereby it's called GIS, gas insulated switchgear. This gas insulated switchgear actually consumes less space than if you look at this place now. It's like actually within communities where people live. Most of our substations, you see them on the outskirts of towns where we have ample space that we can build. We can have our gantries, our bus bars, and all that. While this one being in the middle of communities where space is very limited, so we adopted this technology here.
That within the communities where, especially in the big cities, the land is very expensive. So, to avoid much more money, spending of much more money for traditional and conventional substations in big stations, big cities, this GIS gas insulated substations are preferred because of two things. Number one, the land availability is reduced. Secondly, the SF6 gas is used as insulation of the equipment, for example, circuit breakers, CTs, PTs, and other equipments. So, all these equipments are accommodated in one room which is called GIS control room. Secondly, the life of GIS is much more than the conventional substations. So, that is why this latest technology has been utilized at this Gawarinpa substation. This picture you can see is the foundation of terminal tower number 1. Its foundation has been completed, as you can see very well, and now only its backfilling will be done. After this, here we have our CSE and CVT. CSE, by CSE we mean cable sealing end, and then CVT, and then we have the gantry foundations. Similar is the position. This is the foundation form work of CVT, 132 kV CVT. That one is the foundation form work for 132 kV cable sealing end. Okay. Now, this one, see this one, sir. This one is the foundation of 132 kV gantry. Okay. Now, let's go there. This is the cable trench, and in which we have installed the cable hangers. This one, sir. These are the clamps of the cable hangers through which 132 kV XLPE cable will pass. This is the, as we discussed earlier, this is the GIS control room building. These are the plinths of earthing transformers. These are the plinths for 60 MVA power transformers, which are ready. Equipment foundations. These ones are again cable trench. This one is the foundation of terminal tower number 2. Backfilling is being done over here, and after its proper compaction, when the compaction will be completed, then here the foundations of cable sealing ends will be constructed. The installation of the equipments will be done very, very quickly as soon as the equipment arrives, by God's grace.
And welcome back from that interesting update. I'm sure it was worth your time. If you enjoyed this edition of the Bridge 360 show, please catch us live on this channel the same time next week. Please follow us on our various social media handles. We will appreciate your likes and your comments. We have also made this package available in other languages such as Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa for your viewing pleasure. The information displayed on your screen tells you when and where they air. My name is Stephanie Odia. Until next week, bye for now.